All right, so you want the inside scoop on this PSG-Manchester City showdown.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Well, this Give Me Sport article is a really good place to start our deep dive into this match. I mean, this isn't just another game.
Right.
It could really shake things up in the Champions League for both these teams.
Absolutely. And the article really nails it when they talk about the pressure on PSG.
Yeah.
They're in a tough spot. They are outside the qualifying positions right now.
Right.
In the group stage. So a loss here, or even a draw, could mean curtains for their Champions League hopes.
And to add to that, they just dropped $70 million on Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah.
And he can't even play in this match.
Right.
How big of a loss is that for them, and who do you think steps up in his place?
Well, he's definitely a creative force.
Yeah.
You know, he brings a lot to their attack. So not having him is a blow. The article mentions Dembele,
Right.
but he's got that question mark over his fitness.
Yeah.
So if he can't go, then you're looking at some younger, less experienced players.
Yeah.
Like Barcola and Lee really having to step up to the plate.
Yeah, can they deliver on a stage like this? That's a good question.
Big test.
Big test for sure. Now, Manchester City,
Yeah.
they seem to have found their groove again after a bit of a rocky patch earlier this season.
They've turned it around.
Yeah.
4 wins in a row
Yeah.
across all competitions.
Yeah.
You know, and then that 6-0 drubbing of Ipswich Town.
Yeah.
That's a statement.
Yeah. They're peaking at the right time, it seems.
They are.
So it's interesting because despite all that, the article points out that PSG are actually the favorites,
Interesting.
according to the bookies.
Yeah.
Are they giving too much weight to that home advantage at Parc des Princes?
Well, home advantage in Europe is a real thing.
Right.
Especially at Parc des Princes. I mean, that atmosphere can be electric.
Yeah.
And that can really give PSG a lift. But I think it might be more than that.
Okay.
I think maybe they're looking too much at reputation and past performance rather than current form.
So you're saying they're underestimating Man City's momentum?
I think it's possible.
Okay.
City are playing their best football right now. PSG are still trying to find that consistency. The article even suggests looking at the draw no bet option.
Right.
Where you get your money back if it's a draw.
Okay.
Kind of a safer bet.
Yeah.
If you're not sure who's going to win.
Smart. Now, we can't talk about a match like this and not talk about who might score.
Of course.
The article names Haaland
Right.
and Foden,
Yeah.
both in top form.
Yeah.
But what makes them so dangerous? And are there any other players we should be watching?
Well, Haaland is just a goal machine.
Yeah.
Incredible instinct for finding the back of the net. But as the article says, Foden is so versatile and he can score too.
Right.
He creates chances for himself and his teammates, not afraid to take players on.
So it's not just about stopping Haaland. It's about stopping that whole City attack.
Exactly. PSG need to be disciplined, organized, compact in midfield. They can't give Foden and the other playmakers space to breathe.
Sounds like we've got a tactical battle brewing between the managers as well. So with all these different factors at play, how do you see this match shaping up?
I think it'll be a cautious start.
Okay.
Both teams feeling each other out, trying to control the game. But as things go on, I think it'll open up.
Okay.
City will be patient, but they'll keep pushing for that goal. PSG will need to be clinical and take their chances when they come.
So clash of styles then.
Absolutely. High stakes, high tension. That's what makes this match so interesting.
You mentioned earlier you like to look beyond the obvious choices when it comes to betting.
I do.
Are there any under-the-radar players or specific bets you think might be worth looking at in this match?
Well, with Dembele's fitness up in the air,
it
might be worth checking the odds for other PSG players to score.
Okay.
Someone like Ramos, for instance. If Dembele's out, he could be PSG's main goal threat.
Interesting. So a potential value bet there if Dembele doesn't play. Anything else?
If you're feeling really adventurous, you could look at a bet on a young player.
Okay.
Like Barcola or Lee.
Right.
To score their first Champions League goal.
Oh, wow.
It's high pressure, but sometimes that brings out the best in young players.
The classic underdog story.
Exactly.
Would certainly add to the drama of this match. We've covered a lot of ground here. Tactics, individual battles, even some betting tips. Before we move on, is there anything else our listeners should know going into this match? All right, so we're back and ready to really break down this PSG attack. You mentioned Dembele's fitness is a big question mark.
It is, yeah.
The article says he could change the game, but what makes him so important for PSG, and how much does it hurt their strategy if he can't play?
When he's electric.
Yeah.
Pace dribbling.
Right.
He can just unlock defenses. Even against a really organized team like City, that's huge. He can create something out of nothing. But if he's not fully fit, PSG might have to slow things down.
Right.
Play more possession-based football.
Okay.
Which could actually help City.
So that's a real wild card then.
Yeah.
Whether he plays or not.
Big time.
So let's say he can't go. PSG's going to have to lean on those younger guys.
Right.
Barcola and Ramos. What are their strengths? Can they handle the pressure of a Champions League knockout game?
Well, they each bring something different. Barcola is really fast and direct.
Yeah.
But he can be a bit inconsistent. Lee is creative, great passer, but maybe a bit lightweight physically against a team like City.
Okay, what about and Ramos?
is really talented, but he's young.
Yeah.
This might be too much too soon for him.
Right.
The article highlights Ramos as a natural goal scorer.
Yeah.
But he needs the service from his teammates.
Right.
And against that City defense, that's a big ask.
So a lot of ifs for PSG then.
There are, yeah.
If Dembele's fit, if the young guys step up, if they can break down that City defense, a lot of uncertainty going into a game, they have to win. Let's talk about City's attack now.
Sure.
We talked about Haaland and Foden already.
Yeah.
But how do they fit into Guardiola's system?
Yeah.
What should PSG be most worried about?
Well, Guardiola is all about control.
Right.
Possession. Patiently waiting for the opponent to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And then Haaland, he's the finisher, punishes any mistake you make.
Ruthless.
But Foden is the key, I think.
Oh, really? In what way?
His movement, his passing, his ability to find space.
Yeah.
It's just chaos for defenses.
Right.
And he's a goal threat too, of course. But he sets up so many chances for his teammates.
This is not just about stopping Haaland, then it's about stopping that whole City machine.
Exactly. Discipline, organization, compact midfield. You can't give Foden and those other guys space.
Sounds like a real chess match in the making between these two managers.
Could be.
So given all this, what kind of match are you expecting to see?
Probably a bit cagey at the beginning.
Okay.
Both teams feeling each other out, you know, trying to establish control. But I think as it goes on, it'll open up.
Okay.
City's going to be patient, but relentless, and PSG will have to be ready to take their chances.
So different styles, but same high stakes.
Yeah, for sure.
You said you like to look beyond the obvious when it comes to betting. Any under-the-radar players or bets you think might be worth considering?
Well, like we said, Dembele's fitness is a big question mark.
Right.
Might be worth looking at the odds for some other PSG players to score.
Okay.
Maybe someone like Ramos.
Yeah.
If Dembele's not playing, he might be their best option to get a goal.
Interesting. So a potential good value bet if Dembele's out. Anything else that jumps out at you?
If you're feeling lucky, you could go for a young player, like Barcola or Lee, to score their first Champions League goal.
Wow, yeah.
I mean, it's a high-pressure situation, but sometimes that's when young players shine.
Yeah, the underdog story.
Yeah.
All right, so we've talked tactics, key players, and even some betting angles.
Yeah.
But before we wrap things up, is there anything else you think our listeners should know going into this match? So we've talked tactics and players, but football can be unpredictable, right?
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
Always keeps you guessing.
For sure.
I mean, we can analyze all day, but sometimes it's a moment of magic.
Yeah.
Or a lucky bounce. Or even a bad call from the ref.
Right.
That can change the whole game.
Absolutely.
That's what makes it fun, though, right?
Definitely.
Keeps things interesting.
The article focuses on the big stars, but, you know, sometimes a player you don't expect comes out of nowhere and steals the show.
Happens all the time, especially in the Champions League.
Right.
A young guy making his debut or a sub coming off the bench to score the winner.
Yeah, it's those moments that make it so special.
For sure.
So, putting you on the spot here.
Who do you think could be that surprise factor in this match? Any dark horses we should be watching?
For PSG, maybe someone like Iketik. He's a young striker.
Yeah.
Hasn't really had his chance yet, but he could cause City some problems.
Okay, yeah.
He's got pace and power.
Interesting. Anyone for City?
That's tough because they have so much depth.
Right.
But maybe Rico Lewis,
their
young fullback, likes to get forward.
Yeah.
Creates chances out wide.
All right, so listeners keep an eye on those names. They could be the ones making headlines.
Yeah.
So, taking everything into account, What's your gut feeling on this match?
Well, it's going to be close.
Okay.
No doubt about that. Two top teams,
Yeah.
two great managers,
Right, yeah.
and so much pressure. I think it'll come down to who can handle the pressure better, who executes their game plan.
So battle of styles and personalities, too.
Absolutely. That's what makes it so interesting. PSG needs to find a way to break down City's defense, and City will be looking to take advantage if PSG leaves any space open when they attack.
Sounds like it could be a really tactical match.
Could go down to the wire.
Yeah, can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
You always seem to find a way to connect these deep dives to the bigger picture.
It's all connected.
What's the bigger story behind this PSG versus Man City game?
I think this match is a good example of how things are changing in European football.
How so?
You've got PSG with all their money
Yeah.
trying to buy their way into the elite.
Right.
And then you have City,
Right.
who have the money but also a clear philosophy.
Yeah.
And they're already at the top.
So it's about more than just winning this one game.
It's about the future of the game. Who will be the top dogs?
It's a battle for supremacy.
Exactly. And that's why it's so fascinating. It's about ambition and money and tactics,
Right.
all wrapped up in one match.
It's a reminder that football never stands still.
Always evolving.
And this game might show us where things are headed.
So when you watch this match, remember, you're not just watching a game, you're watching history in the making.
That's a great way to put it. This has been a fantastic deep dive. Thanks for sharing your insights with us.
My pleasure. Enjoy the match, everybody.
And to everyone listening, don't forget to share your thoughts and predictions with us. We love hearing from you. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.